the industrials keep putting up good numbers, and I think they can keep working, which is why I want to take a fresh look at the new Emerson Electric. Now, this is a classic industrial that spent the last couple of years transforming itself under a new management team. They made a big industrial software acquisition, multiple divestitures, with the result that Emerson is now primarily focused on automation technologies. Today, the company pitched its new strategy at an Investor Day event here at the New York Stock Exchange, where they also rang the closing bell. Afterwards, we got a chance to sit down with the architect of this transformation. His name is Lal Karsanbhai. He's the president and CEO of Emerson Electric, and it's quite exciting. Take a look. Well, this is an amazing transformation. I first saw this company years ago when it was basically InSinkErator and some valves. This new Emerson, to me, looks exactly what most people at home would like about an industrial of the future. So I want to give you a chance just to talk about the transformation.
Thanks, Jim. Great to be here. Thanks for having me. It has been a very active 22 months. We had a vision for the company. We worked very closely with our board of directors to execute that vision. Through uncertain economic times, we're able to not only deliver financial performance, but transform the portfolio of the company. And we had one very clear thing in mind, which was to create a cohesive, high growth, high margin, high free cash flow automation company. A company that is connected in its main cores of automation with a technology stack that is unparalleled in the industry, diversity of customers in industry, and most importantly, Jim, optionality on M&A, which we now have in a $230 billion TAM, which is pretty exciting.
Right. Now, you have their last deal gives you a lot of cash. These deals are hard to do, and just congratulations for even getting them done. There are some people who feel like, well, that's it. I think that you've got a platform to do the next 10 years of Emerson.
You're absolutely right. I think we identified 4 adjacencies today for M&A activity going forward. Obviously, $8 billion of after-tax proceeds once we close the climate technologies transaction with Blackstone. And you mentioned that transaction. Again, a phenomenal effort by our partner there to bring that through. It was a challenging time in the markets to do that. Our hats off to their commitment. But now we have a lot of optionality. 4 adjacencies, technology alignment, customer alignment, and most importantly, end market diversification as well.
But when I look at the overall, I think of this. I think of a company, for people who are watching the show, they want to find a stock, a company that is doing something to make it so there's less waste, that is a greening company, so to speak, that helps the other companies try to, that's not greenwash, that actually is about the future. All these different companies have a couple things in common, which to me make me feel like you're helping everyone become a better corporate citizen. And to me, you're the only company that's doing that I know of.
No, it's a phenomenal set of cards that we have. And if you think about 4 critical macro drivers over the next, let's say, decade, you think about digital transformation, the use of data, and how that enables customers to go to top quartile performance. You think about energy affordability and security. We all learned about that the hard way, and Europe is struggling with that today. We have a role to play there. Sustainability that you mentioned, whether that's decarbonization of existing facilities, which we're working very closely with our customers globally, or new energy sources, where we have a tremendous portfolio of technology to go forward on. And then lastly, it's the nearshoring of technologies. It's semiconductor, life sciences, and even energy, Jim, you can think around that context.
Right. Well, I mean, I like the concept. You have 4 critical technology areas for innovation. Disruptive measurement technologies. When I first met Emerson, you measured things. But now you're measuring things for the way that the future is. Now, do you have software people who are engineers? Who's doing this internally for Emerson? And I know you've got this kind of very cool partnerships that make it so you've got good software exposure.
Phenomenal. Jim, we have over 5,000 R&D engineers across Emerson. About half of those are software engineers. The other half are electrical mechanical engineers. They're spread across 15 major R&D sites. And 25% of our sales today are of products developed in the last 5 years.
Really
so the
important.
vitality of the portfolio is very important to us. And we'll spend over 6% of sales in R&D as we go forward, and that number will grow higher.
And also the growth is increasing with every single divestiture. I want to talk about one just metaphorically
Yes,
so
sir.
people understand the arc of what you've done. When I met Mr. Knight, who was a great predecessor of yours, what he talked to me about were valves, heating and air conditioning, and the incinerator, the garbage disposal. We don't use garbage disposals in our house because we regard them as being wasteful. We now compost. To me, that's metaphorically, you are that journey. You don't want to be in the home incinerator, but you want to be saving the climate.
That's right. Now, aligning the portfolio to underlying growth,
Yes.
secular macros is really what the vision was about. And the cohesiveness, so that A plus B equals C, and it makes sense to an investor, to a customer, and it makes sense from an innovation perspective as well. That's what we try to do. And that automation portfolio that we have today, and you think about the stack of technology, Jim, the sensing elements you just mentioned, the control elements, and then the software layer on top, enables us to bring that to a customer and solve significant significant
7% of Emerson sales tied to sustainability, enabling technologies for the global sustainability imperatives. To me, I looked at every single one of the companies that claims to be automating. And there's some that have come on the show, and they're very fine companies. You're the only pure play automation company out there. And this is a remarkable transformation, but we're not done. Should we expect to see more things within the next year?
I am so excited, Jim, about the opportunities we have, both organically and with M&A. As we mentioned, we've done a lot in 22 months. We have a phenomenal management team, a great board of directors, and I'm excited about the future
Well,
of the
you
company.
mentioned it's been tough times, except for there's one thing that hasn't been tough, the trajectory of your stock since you've gotten involved. Congratulations. You're
Thank
making
you, sir.
shareholders money. You're doing great things for the environment,
Thank
and
you.
it's just been a remarkable run. That's Lal Karsanbhai. He's the president and CEO of Emerson EMR. What a run. It's a long deck, as we call it, but you will really understand it's all in English. It's all easy. It's all bite-sized, and you got to read it, and you should own it. May have money's back here for the break.